Hey, he totally said it. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks. It is the post-con show for Atlanta BrickCon, and you'll notice there's nobody from the con here hardly except for me and you, and Matt walked off. So, I don't know if you've been to a convention, but the Old Gray Bricks get darn tired at a convention. So, hello, Entertainment Lane. Hello. Who is the crud?
I don't, surprisingly.
You don't?
No, not yet.
Flexing that free healthcare. That's what you're doing.
I guess I just didn't lick enough people. But
that's true. Yeah. Concrud. Hey, Aubrey's here. Hello. Can I say one of my big regrets, super big regrets, and it's not my fault. It's not my son's fault. Sort of his fault. Is that in his car, he was hauling my friendship ship for the friendship timber table, and it ate itself. He dropped a box, dropped on it from when he was moving his stuff in, and he said it's broken. And I walked over, and the spaceship that's 100 studs long is now at least 48 studs long because it's fitting in a box. And it is in, and I did not have the wherewithal to put it back together. So I did not get to display on the friendship table. And that is a regret. So, yeah. Yep. So Mark's got COVID con. He came down with that. Maktour is feeling there. Hey, good deal. Daniel's feeling all right. Intense. Do you have con crud? I don't know if you do. Yes, I will build a new one. I'll build a new friendship for next year. Yes, I will. I can build it out of the parts. They're pretty much disassembled and ready for sorting.
Yeah, you got all the
there. Yeah. So can I just flex? Our lug did not get best lug display. Props to South Carolina. They really brought the stuff. But within our lug and within this group, there was some serious trophy action going on. Dana won best mosaic.
I think it was
art or mosaic. Yeah, I forget what the actual
culture or something like that. Mr. Van Winden himself. Go ahead. You know it's there. It is. I know you had it. There it is.
Last night with my own chat.
Yeah.
I had the best fantasy when I was. Oh wait, that's not what I mean.
Come on, man. There's nobody here to pull that stuff. What are you doing?
I had no idea you had that castle in you. Like I had no idea. Like next thing on Instagram, I see Jeff wins there's this huge castle on my screen. I had no idea. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you weren't here during late COVID and last year. He's pretty much built that baby on screen, and yeah, it's a cool spiral. Really great engineering. And our friend Intense here, who is all clear, no con crud for him. He gets best
castle.
Best castle. Yeah, and he's in our lug, which is fantastic. Hello, Martin. Martin, I believe, is flying overhead of me right now in a plane. So that's awesome.
It was best in show that he got.
Okay,
best in show. Okay. That's right, best in show.
I think also what happened was because the categories were kind of open. Like Maticus came up to me and said he voted for mine for best in show, but not for best fantasy. He voted for Intensis for best fantasy, and I think that's what he said to me. Anyways, a few people said that they kind of voted in different categories for different things. So I think they kind of tallied them together in the long run, because there's
Did your bouncy count stop working?
It stopped working on Saturday morning. A piece fell into the lift arms and jammed them up, and the little micro motor that couldn't anymore. It was still running, but I think it burned out enough that as soon as I put the net back on, like I took the net off and it would start moving, and as soon as I put the net back on, it just stopped.
I was picturing like a real bouncy castle. Like there's like a bounce house in the convention or something.
Yeah, it just ran at air.
No,
but
that's Brick Fair does that. But he made a little yellow castle bouncy house for his castle layout, and it was bobbing the little kids up and down until somebody broke.
I can find the Instagram post for it if you want.
Yeah, and if it's like a bouncy castle, when I rent it for a church, that piece that fell down in there was a kid's tooth, because it happens every time. I've got a kid comes out crying and he's lost a tooth in the bouncy house, and we got to send somebody in there to fish it out. Do we ever find it? No. So anyway, let's see who else won in either our Old Gray Brick Circle or in our lug.
Did you cover Dana already? And
Dana Maticus won.
Maticus is a friend of the show for sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to think about someone else did win in the lug, didn't they?
Rich Barth for Castle. Did you mention that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who won for did any of the Friendship Timber ones win, or no? I guess not.
But anyway, our lug represented well. Our
I can click on it when it's ready. So yeah, this is done by the Zusammengebaut website, which means assembled in English.
Does it?
But there was a shot there. Here, I'll go back for a second. There was a shot of the bouncy castle. Whoops. In working order.
Nice.
So, but
very cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, pieces fell in, and
it was baby Spaith's teeth.
Mm-hmm.
But it was. What are you eating, Matt? Matt is chomping down. It looks like a donut, but I know it's not a donut. It's a burger.
5 burger, and onion rings, which was a request from my spouse who has not had a very good 2024, and he was like, I really want a hamburger, and I was like, I'll go get you a hamburger, and then I get the BurgerFi. Their online ordering app was down, and they were slammed. So I was like, well, there goes my plan to eat dinner before the show. So this is why I'm eating. I don't normally eat on the show. So sorry about that, everybody. I will definitely. I'm trying to chew with my mouth closed.
Yeah. Our friend Stever was there, and he had hats, and I did not get I got to get me a cancer support hat there. He can make those, and also the ribbon can be whatever color for whoever you're supporting, and I didn't get it going for testicular cancer specifically. But hey, good. Yeah, we're back on the air. It's been a minute. But talking about, by the way, BurgerFi, have I told you need to get, or at least request, the conflicted burger if they don't have it on the menu anymore? Do you know what that is? It's a regular patty and a veggie patty. Their veggie patty is really good because it's like minced up vegetables made into like a fritter, so it has crunch.
Okay.
And it used to be a big thing on their menu. Apparently they dropped it, but our BurgerFi, it's his favorite burger, the manager. So he has a little list of, manager specials, and it's still there. So it's really delicious. It's actually my favorite. So it's really good.
Truthfully, I don't know that I've ever eaten a veggie burger, maybe one time in my life. But so, there's always a new thing. So.
It feels like a crab cake more than a burger patty, which is why there's a really good texture, and it's really kind of umami yummy, really good, and their sauce is really good. So just FYI, there you go. I'm glad you like their onion rings. They're like car tire size, and they're not my favorite. So
this is my eye. This is the onion ring.
Those are those onion rings when you get them fresh and you bite into one and you don't get it all the way through. All of a sudden, like a nuclear hot tapeworm plops down on your chin and burns you, and it's not a good experience at all. So, not my favorite. Secret menu.
I have a random question.
Sure.
Which I'm going to crowdsource to this group. So I just got off the phone with one of our members who's our last voter in bulk lug, and he asked for the 1x2 part that they use in all of the fireplaces. And I wasn't sure exactly what he meant, but I said I would go look up some instructions. Do you know what part he's talking about?
Using the fireplaces.
Okay, I'll have to look up. I'll look up some modulars and look up
Like
some
the I would think the brick, the 1x2 brick with the brick pattern on it, maybe because they use that on fireplaces. But
Yeah, that's probably what they're talking about.
I may have to call him back and ask if he means the outsiders. I initially thought he meant like something that would hold up the flame piece.
Yeah, it's just like that 1x2 plate that's rounded with the hollow studs.
I asked about that.
No,
He meant
maybe.
the hollow 1x1 round, and he said no. So I may be calling him back.
Well, it could be the 1x2 rounded one.
I
Right, 'cause
bet
that
what
has-
he's talking about is the brick. You know, the brick with the brick and thing. So
What about what Jeff said, which is the rounded 1x2, where it's got the two hollow things, and you can.
Yeah, it
That's
could be that.
probably the piece.
That's what I just said.
That's what. Yeah, that's what.
I thought you said
Don't get
brick versus
sassy.
plate.
Is
Anyways,
this thing
that's-
on?
No, that's what you heard.
don't get feisty, Mr. Star Trek.
my apologies.
Well, get that ribbon.
Look at that. All right. So anyway, the con. Oh wait. What am I? Oh.
He said the curly thing. So yes, I don't know what.
Oh, so it's like the
This.
one with the little. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, okay. The
Finial.
the column with the capital. I'll send him a pic. I'll text him a picture. Can you hold that up again?
Nobody calls that piece the same thing. Everyone's got
Yeah.
their own name for it. I
I'm
call
going
it.
to text him a picture and ask him if that's the piece he means.
It's the finial. I think it's called a finial.
I call it a scrolly brick.
Scrolly. I like that.
I call it not that useful sometimes.
And of course Daniel from ABC, nailed it.
Yeah,
He talks customer very well. I need the thing with the thing on the end, and goes right to it. So there it is.
That's like when I worked at the store, somebody'd come in and try to describe a part, and I would say, "Oh, well, that's a plate," and they're like, "Well, maybe, and maybe you call it that. I call it a smoothie thing. Oh, that's a tile. I just call it a smooth part."
I'm looking through the lug bulk lists because we're still choosing ours from our lug, and I got the windscreen section because I'm going section by section, and the section is called windscreen and cockpits, but the last 4 letters of that sentence are missing. And I'm like, okay, I wonder what's in this, and then I'm like, well, windscreen and okay, yeah, I know what word it's supposed to be, but okay, anyway.
Yeah, it is. And Jake is learning that the flat one with the knobs. And mom. Anyway, yeah. So Jake's learning that too. Working at the competitor, no, not slinging any arrows, but Jake's working at Bricks and Minifigs. He comes in with interesting stories of what? Oh, Mark Puro wants to be a part of our lug bulk. Are you not in a lug?
I think just because that you guys are choosing better parts, maybe.
Maybe.
I'd assume that Salt Lake has a lug.
Shall we?
I don't think Aubrey needs any more Lego.
Yeah,
She has quite enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to
phenomenal.
ordering lug bulk and everything, and the price. We get a great deal, and it's always fantastic. But I swear, I have these big dreams for these parts, and then they go over there, and they're sitting in a. I mean, I will go get some and use some, but anyway, I really think I would love to build a minifig scale asteroid that's supported in some way and have a mining colony on it. I think that would be really cool and really difficult, and I've got parts kind of for that, but I don't think I'll ever do it. She's working on nomination. Oh, okay. Just move on. So it was awesome to see all the Aubreys and everything hanging out. It was cool, all of us going to the restaurant, us all looking, just dumpy guys, and the ladies were there in the corner sipping in their drinks and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, they are so much more classy than me. You know what I'm saying? They were.
What restaurant was that?
When we went to
M1?
Marlowe's?
Marlowe's. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
there. They were there.
Yeah,
I
they were
didn't see
over
them.
the corner booth, being all awesome and having great girl time. And I just went to say hello to them. And yeah, they were.
And you
they were
didn't
being
even tell us.
I was wearing my gay goggles, so I did not see them.
I was playing footsies with you, I think, Chris, because we were kind of.
Well, we had moved
by
3
side.
tables.
TMI,
by then, so
TMI.
we were at a booth and they're like, "Hey, there's more. Let's move to a table." And then that table apparently had ice skates for chairs because you
that
felt
was
like
fun.
you could shoot across the restaurant. And but it was fun. All
Yeah.
right, so we talked about the awards. The awards were fun. What did you guys think about just the general vibe for ABC as compared to last year? Steve, you can just cry and FOMO all you want. It's fine and everything. So what do you think?
Last year, even though it was more crowded, I thought some of the people that showed up were like there was a larger. I would say there was a larger turnout of people. It seems like a lot more influencers were there. Like we had a bunch of the New York guys, Matt, I think, and those type of guys were there. So there were people missing. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right. There were new people that came this year, but some of the people that were there last year, I didn't show up, and it makes sense. I mean, I get it, but I really think, like I mentioned to the organizer, that the site definitely needs an A-full section with people coming and stuff like that. And he said, "Yeah, we're planning that for next year." So, it would be nice to know ahead of time, and I think that'll help the event grow a bit. At the same time, it's a small event, and I kind of like it small because, like you can get to know everybody and walk around and stuff, right? And
well, it kind of feels like a small big event or a big small event. I can't. Martin, I texted with him to see if he could come on. He's in an airplane going somewhere. He even feels like he has had his big show of the year. That bucket is full for him. He's like, I don't feel like I need to go to Chicago or to DC to go to one of the big ones, because this felt like a big show to him, except it's still small enough that you can hang out with everybody. Although I really feel like I didn't get any like FaceTime hardly with anybody outside of the lug that I was there. And that's some of me, because I didn't stay on site. I commuted, but I left late, got there early either way. But still, there's never enough time. Hopefully he'll give us that Wednesday to start set up so we can have more just chill down time. There's comments there. Need to work on the back end. Yeah, there's some tech upgrades they need to do, and the website does a lot like 2005. And so, everything.
I'd like to bring up something that we haven't discussed so far, which is our neighboring lug to the northeast of us here, South Carolina lug came down. They threw out a massive table. They did this giant collab with City, and it had all kinds of different sections. And they beat us for the best lug layout award. And after they won, after they won at the award ceremony, I was chit-chatting with, I know a couple of the guys like John and Andrew pretty well. And I jokingly said, well, next year we'll just have to invite a less talented lug to come. And so they were joking around. They were like, yeah, no one ever talks about North Carolina lug. You should invite them next year, And so it was a very good natured rivalry. And a couple of them on the last day actually said some extremely complimentary things. And so one of the guys said, we've always looked up to you guys down in Peach Lug, and we're just trying to, build better stuff. And you guys have given us ambitions to do bigger layouts and things like that. And I was like, well, you did a really big layout this time. I don't think you can top that layout. In terms of just square footage, it was enormous. And then one of the members came up and he was personally just saying that he liked what I brought, which was the giant mosaic. And he said, he goes, I really want to do a big mosaic now. He goes, you've really inspired me. And I'm thinking about like ideas, like what I can do. And he's like, I actually kind of teared up when I saw it. And I was like, whoa, like, wow. I'm like, I've had people say they like something. I don't know if I've ever had anybody say they teared up from a Lego creation. So I felt honored. And I said, part of that is just handing on that, the Lego karma. I said, I went to Chicago 2 years ago and saw things that just dropped my jaw and made me go, wow. And my ambition was to build a really large thing. And it took me months to think about what was the large thing I wanted to do. Right. I mean, it's one thing to have an idea, a desire to do it. It's another to pick a topic and move forward with it. And I said, it actually took me quite a while just to figure out what I was going to try. And, but I just want to give a shout out to the South Carolina folks, both at a personal level, because they said very nice things to me personally, but also just at a lug level, because they were very good natured, very friendly. And they even, at the end, they even approached me and threw out the idea of maybe next year we could do a Peach South Carolina collab where our two lugs could plan something and do something jointly. And I said, well, that sounds pretty interesting. Like let's talk about an idea, pick a theme or something like that. So tip of the hat. It's great to have people come in from all over the South. And Mr. Mark Staffa, who used to be here in Atlanta and has since relocated to Florida, he bought an enormous, like, I don't know, 1/16 scale of a locomotive and a couple of cars. And I don't know, but I looked at that and I saw dollar signs. I was like, that's probably 20 grand in Lego right there.
At least.
I kind of like asked as he was taking it apart, and he goes, well, he's like, I got some of this from that, some of this from that. He goes, I didn't keep track of it, but he's like, it's a lot of parts. So, and it's special when people bring, big things. So we had Martin from Alabama. We had Mark Staffa from Florida. We had the South Carolina folks coming over from, all over South Carolina. I don't remember. Do we have any Tennessee Valley folks here?
There may have been a couple, but I don't think they came en masse. I think they had a show. I think one of the shows up there and around them had happened recently or was happening recently. So,
and then some guy, came down with the trailer and brought an enormous castle that filled an entire couple of tables. So,
yeah, we were international because we had a Canadian, we had a German there,
Yeah, and the New Hashima definitely had some other. I think another non-US person came in for that. So if any of those folks are watching or those folks, like just give our thanks to the out-of-towners, whether you came from a neighboring state or you came from a neighboring country. We appreciate you. Our ambition is to it was a 5/7 scale. Wow. Yeah, our ambition is to make this the most attractive Lego con in the South, and the fact that folks come here, that's a sign that we're at least getting part way there. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, there was a high quality of stuff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry, Simon Liu was there too. The other
Simon Liu was there.
Record, so
are you
never
guys,
heard of him? Never heard.
Are you guys on the planning committee for the con?
No, I don't think any of them are. Matt, are you on the planning committee, or is anybody
for what?
For the convention?
No, they just kind of plan it, and they're like, okay, how much table space do you want? I mean, we don't have a seat at the table. We just kind of say, hey, we want this. Like I said, I want to do a part strap, and they're like, okay, you're in charge of the part strap, and I'm like, okay, well, next year I'm going to ask for more control. It's a little bit hair raising. Some key player got sick that day, and so I was scrambling to find out who had signed up for the part strap, but we got it done at the last second. I lost, the last 5 hairs on my top of my head as I got nervous about who was I supposed to collect money, and so next year I definitely would like to have a few of those things ironed out a little more clearly. Yeah. That's true. We came to Alabama.
And speaking of that, insert. I sat down. When you're in the con and let's just say this: it was very heavy Saturday, especially, but the room was so open, and there were as many people there as there were last year. It just had so much more space, and it was so pleasant. But still, after a while of talking and noise, I need to recharge batteries for my introverted self. So I went down, and I was going to find. They have a nice little lobby area outside. You can see some green space outside. So I was going to go, and I went to sit down. I didn't notice there was a mom and her 2 kids on the other side of this little thing. So I sat down, and I'm like, well, be pleasant. I said hello and everything, and, made some conversation with them. I said, are y'all from around here? She said, no, we're from Birmingham. So they used to come to the Birmingham show when we went. Martin said, we would go to Alabama. It's time to repay. So last year and this year, they made a family weekend out of coming to Atlanta Brick Convention. And we all of a sudden started talking. We had a lot of connections because he got a degree from Tech, and so did I. And they were just excited about the fact that now we have a show that's not just rivaling what Brick Fair Alabama used to be. We've kind of gone on top of it in their viewpoint. So it was good to see them make a family day out of it. They were not exhibitors. They were just coming to tour it twice and everything. That was great. So yeah, I mean, I hope they go. I'm supposing he'll keep the same size space for next year, unless he doubles again, because he doubled from about 150 that were exhibitors to 300 exhibitors.
There were 300 exhibitors signed up.
That's how many dinner plates I think that they said they had for the dinner.
Yep.
Huh.
So
I mean, so I did have a conversation with them about the allocation within the hall, and I made the comment. I said, truthfully, the aisleways are generous this year compared to not generous last year. And I said, you could probably squeeze an extra row of tables in the existing space without any problem. And he said, well, I agree with you. But he's like, the venue went over our layout with a fine-tooth comb, and they started moving things around, and we were like, you can't just move stuff around. Like, certain things have to be in certain places. And he said, we actually had to go a couple rounds with them. They wanted to totally change our layout, and we were like, you can't do this. And he's like, finally we won. So if there is a motivation to perhaps seek another venue, that could be why.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's saying there for another hall that there's a third. The hall we were in last year was not used by us, so I think the location's the same. They're gonna get 3 halls.
Yeah, and that hall we were in last year was, I think, 19,000 square feet, and each of the halls we were in this time were 2,500 square feet each, so it's 50,000 square feet.
Okay.
So
I'll be honest. I didn't feel that the tables were crammed. I mean, we had a few people drop out the last second, and we could have fit more stuff on Peach Slug table. I felt like if I were the boss for a day, I would say, well, maybe they'd hold the size for a year and see if it doesn't fill up the space a little bit more. But maybe they're anticipating growth, and so they don't want to get jammed like we were last year, where it was a little too tight.
Yeah, well, and I mean, they did sell out of AFL tickets for the convention as well, right? And there was even, like, that was weeks before, even, because I remember a few people here even saying, oh, I'll reach out to them and see if we can get you in or something like that. I'm wondering if they should almost do like, when you register, say, are you bringing a mock or aren't you? If you're not bringing a mock, then that doesn't really account for their floor space for that. You know what I mean? Like, because, I mean, if people aren't bringing mocks, then they don't necessarily take up much space in the convention hall.
Right.
So, but they do take up space in the dinner, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Meredith is here. Hello, Meredith. How are you feeling today?
I'm tired. Sorry.
You're good.
I'm recording live from my bedroom.
I should have done that.
Wait. Is Brian Brian safe for company? Is he going to be wandering by and?
No, he's downstairs with Natalie. He's downstairs with Natalie watching TV because Natalie's on fall or winter break, so she's staying up late. But no, I just wanted Doug. He abandoned me for Brian.
I'm sorry,
dog.
That's how my kitties are too. I'm person number 2 in the household, so I get it.
Yeah, I am 1B. I am not 1A. So no, I just want to let you say we are making plans to make a second city center for New Hashima.
What?
Yeah.
Like for next year or for another con?
I don't know. Who knows? But it's gonna be like I'm calling it the suburbs of New Hashima. It's not going to be a suburban cyberpunk. It's just geographically located near New Hashima, with some sort of bridge or something.
Is it going to have like day spas at the suburbs?
No. The suburban thing is geographically metaphorical, not actually metaphorical.
There needs to be like a Whole Foods there or something.
There's not going to be a Whole Foods. There's going to be a seawall with a giant mech hanger, and I can let you guess who's going to build that.
I'm going to guess their last name only has 3 letters.
So I think the idea is that Peach Slug kind of, not Peach Slug, but it's not a Peach Slug thing. It's people in the southeast, other than Stefan, will have the ability to have a New Hashima display if Stefan can't make it. And if Stefan makes it or doesn't want to bring his city Triangle Center, he can just bring his Section 8 too.
Yeah.
So can you tease out just slightly, like, what's the difference between the center, and is it just like you need the structural connection points? Is that
so in Brick World we had 4 distinct neighborhoods. We had the slums, which were the slums. I cannot build Derelict, so I did not build Derelict. Then there was the docks, which had a spaceport coming off the end of it, with 3 ships. I think Adrian's was a double ship.
Yeah.
Everyone else had a ship, and then Adrian had a double ship, and all of the cubes were all dock orientated, like, they were all taking cargo off or doing stuff. And then the inner city was kind of residential and like entertainment. And then there was Section 8, which is Stefan's original area, and that's supposed to be more where the rich people in New Hashima live.
I was noticing that New Hashima grew up a little bit this year, in that the side that was facing my castle looked it didn't look like it was derelict. It didn't look like it was run down. It looked like it was, a city that's just growing, and like, I don't know how to say it. It looked more modern than cyberpunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that guy, I believe his name was Norm. He was original cyberpunk guy from the Brolug collab, and he's been working on his stuff since 2011.
Wow.
He had that whole tan building, that looked kind of like a tan Japanese apartment building. It was all Modulux bricks put into homemaker windows.
Oh my god.
And it was tall. I mean, the thing had to be about 2.5 feet tall. It was a lot of Modulux. So, I mean, he has spent so much time. Oh, Nate, I'm sorry. I said Norm. I'm just going to say Old Lady Chemo brain fog.
Was that sand red that I saw in that one unit?
I think there was some sand red, but I think you're confusing that with the pale pink from Scalia that were all oven fronts from
that's
Scalia.
What I saw. Got it. Okay. That was a pale pink.
Is pale. It's not salmon. There was a salmon one, but that was pale pink. That was also the same pale pink used in Paradise. I dropped my extra eye.
Somewhere Mark is flinching as you started that word. Paradise.
So
you sent him into a coughing fit. He's not feeling ways.
I just killed Mark by pronouncing a Lego theme correctly.
or the Dune version, the Grand Emperor Paradisha.
Yeah. Everyone's building the Sorting Hat, and I want the Sorting Hat to put me in House Harkonnen so I can hang out with Space Sting. Oh, you want to hang out with Space Sting? Anyway,
I will say that Sorting Hat still looks like a big pile of poop. I mean,
Pile of
it
poop.
really pile of poop.
So speaking of all things Hashima, I mean, up in Chicago when they did the turn the lights down, you could barely get a clear shot of the thing because a lot of the builders were inside the crowd barrier, and then
Hey, we
outside
sat in the ground inside.
but people still stood up to take pictures. But outside the crowd barrier, it was like 2 or 3 people deep of people trying to like get pictures. This year, the lights went down. They didn't go down quite as dark as in Chicago, but I just waited. So there was a chair. I sat there and I waited about 30 minutes, and there was a pretty good turnout. Lots of people were taking videos and pictures, but I just sort of waited. And then it thinned out just enough that I actually could walk all the way around it and do one lap around it, recording a video take, and I could actually see all of it. So that was one nice thing about it being here at a convention that wasn't quite as huge with turnout. You could actually get some pretty good shots of it with the lights out. Unlike
New York, unlike Chicago, where it was just insane.
Yeah,
I sat there for 5 minutes to get this shot because some dude had his nose all up in the little river in there. I'm like, move, dude, move, dude.
I'm right here.
Got the shot, dude. Move, dude. And so finally he moved, and I clicked it and walked on. So,
well, listen, you too can be a VIP of New Hashima. You just got to build something.
Wait. So does that mean we can get dinner first? Us in the back that we're sitting there going, holy cow, I would love to go get dinner. And then you want me to get dinner first. And we sat there and said, holy cow, I'd love to go get dinner first. Is that how it works?
So here's a funny story. We got in late because Beyond the Brick wanted to do their video at 5:30. And then we had to do the team picture and the drinking of the Mountain Dews, which Natalie loves the Baja Blast now. Thank you, Stefan and Simon.
There was no drinking
and
Malort?
No Malort. And so we got there late, and the only seats were available were like up front. And Amanda was there, and she's just like, yeah, sit wherever, even though the first row is for VIPs. And the only table available was with like M&R, and I'm like, I'm not sitting with M&R. I'm mean. I'm just like, yeah, no.
Is this recorded?
Yeah, it probably is. I am sure he's a very nice guy, but I'm just like, that's not someone who I'd have. I sat down to Magic Mike, who is my GBC grandpa, and I like to talk to Magic Mike. So I was okay with that, but the other half of the crew had to sit up there. But I think M&R moved at that point to another influencer table. So,
and
but
when
then
you say Magic Mike, you're not talking about the dancer in the movie. You're talking about our friend who does magic. He used to work for Little Debbie as an engineer and brings us snacks. So there we go.
He does, and he also does GBC. So he's Magic Mike GBC.
Mm-hmm.
So he's my GBC grandpa, just like Francine. Just like Francine is my lug grandmother, Magic Mike is my GBC grandpa. So and then Amanda, I guess when Corey was calling the tables, he called the last 2 rows. I don't know if he said it explicitly enough, like the last 2 rows. I think he just said the last rows, and I don't think everyone heard this plural on rows, and he didn't make it explicit. And so you all in the very, 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 very back row for dinner just like sat there. And so finally I went to Amanda, and I'm like, hey, Amanda, I'm pretty sure the last row hasn't gotten dinner yet. And she's like, oh, she's like, she's like freaking out. She's like, oh, thanks for telling me. And her and Nick ran up there and be like, yeah, the last row can go get food. All right, y'all look like we were like starving you back there.
And let me tell you, if that dinner had been run by a Baptist, there would have been 2 lines on either side, and we'd have got through before Aunt Myrtle ordered deviled eggs. All right, so we'd have got that done. Anyway, so just saying.
The food was pretty good, but I will say it was very confusing because you were supposed to get a round plate, and then halfway through the line, there's like square plates, and I'm like, okay, if I have a plate in each hand, how am I putting the food on the plate? So,
well, this is the guy that had his 2 plates and had his cup of soup there and everything, And I went to get something, and that just went right in the jalapenos. And I'm like, well, that's staying there. I just kept on going.
But there was food
So
at
the
the
thing-
end. I mean, we had to wait a few minutes, but we did.
Yeah,
get
it was
some,
all
right?
good. It was all good.
And
Doug-
speaking of
Jamie.
upgrades, the speaker system, there needs to be a speaker like halfway down the hall, not up
Yeah.
at the front. For those of us in the back of the hall. Oh, we have a Doug sighting.
Doug,
Doug.
does he ask for ruby racks? I'm just asking. I mean,
That blue collar kind of looks like Scooby Doo.
he does. Ruby
does.
racks?
Bro.
I get the Scooby Doo comparison a lot. So
Like Zoinks.
Nice, Scoob. Yeah, so that's a logistic thing for. I mean, it's a dinner. We paid a very small amount to be an exhibitor. It was a deal for us, and the fact that we get a dinner out of that, we can jokingly complain about stuff, but it is a blessing to do that. Logistically, they probably got to handle it better, but they can work on that.
So I will say a favorable comparison is that it was not like Chicago where there was like 45 minutes of announcements that I was like, oh, just shoot me now. Like, can we just go on? So that was one way where ATLBrickCon was much better.
yes, the talking was very concise, and who was the Lego master again? Brain farts, and I'm tired. Corey was very very personable, but he kept it just for the attention and then concise. But he needed to emphasize rows at the end, so you two last rows would go.
Well, you got to experience that. Us in the back, because of the sound, we heard we couldn't discern anything. So,
well, listen, next time, just be late, sit next to M&R, and you can go first.
Ooh, burn! That is a sick burn right there.
Well, you know what's going to happen? We're going to go to the front and sit near the stage, and then they're going to let the back seats out first because that actually would have made more sense. But anyway. It was a fantastic thing, though. If Nick and Amanda would heard that, I would not want them to take offense because we're very
no, and they were very. I think Amanda was very embarrassed and upset, and they were trying to make it right away. So
the thing is, when we did get up and go out, there was still a long lineup. Like the lineup went to almost the escalator, so it was like we could have sat down for a little longer.
But you all look so disgruntled.
Well, yeah, but we were just worried there wouldn't be any food. And I mean, there was a little pause there where some of the burgers needed to be restocked, but that didn't seem too long. I was luckily just before that.
Yeah, but we got burgers and we got the stuff. And they're like, oh wait, there's taco meat. Oh wait, there's fish. There's pasta bar down here.
They had many dietary meals or requirements available.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish that when I got into line, I knew like just how many options there were going to be, in the sense that I've been to enough buffets where you're like, okay, that was your one chance to get the meat, and then there's like nothing else. So I was like getting a little bit of everything at first, and then I was like, it just keeps going on. Oh, there's this. Oh, but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, that's right. I was feeling kind of full after that. I will say one of the funniest things two funny things that happened at the thing for me. Sunday, Mark and I walked out to go get some, it was kind of noisy, and he and I hit a couple of really nice padded chairs away from the lobby, and he and I both fell asleep. Had somebody come up on us, they would have seen two old girls. We were lit because I kind of snapped up awake, and I'm like, dude, are you asleep? And he kind of snapped up. So we were zonked out old men in comfy chairs. But when I was trying to decide if I was going to stay or go, our friend Ant Bandit, or stay, and I was going to room with Big Tim or get a room, I couldn't decide and everything. So I decided to kind of commute. I might do Saturday, but so Ant Bandit heard me say that. He goes, dude, I got no one in my guest room if you want to stay Friday or Saturday. And I'm like, well, I'll think about it. And I knew from last year, Homeboy hosted party. I knew that was in my head. So I was going to probably just say no, just because of whatever. So after he made that offer day one, day two, he comes back. He goes, yeah, just wanted to let you know that I said something about the guest room, but we're really going to be having a big party with a bunch of and I'm like, I hear you, bud. I'm already going home. Homeboy didn't want me to be the old man upstairs going, well, you guys shut up at 2 a.m. and or be the buzzkill old man in the room, right? And no, I not want to Teletubby with you. I got the tubby, I don't have the telly. I can tell you, but yeah, it was basically a con way of him going, "Don't be an old fart at our party." We kind of thing. So I wasn't insulted, but I laughed because he was trying to be nice to go, "Old man, go home." So there it is, right there. Just calling it out.
Chris, you could have crashed at our house except for our guest bedroom. The mattress is up against the wall and the room's filled with Lego.
We just knocked that Lego over, create a flat space.
That's what Van Winden slept in, right?
Hey,
No,
all the Lego was
not.
off the bed, and I laundered the sheets. So I mean, it was.
Wow, he tells me that after the fact.
Hey, did you like the soap? Because that was some seriously bougie soap, handcrafted soap I left in the shower. So
Yeah, I didn't touch the soap because I used body wash. I brought my own.
But you know what? Thomas must have opened up the package after you left. That's why it was open. Never mind then. So on a completely different topic.
Did you have a test scrub? Because that's weird.
Yeah, how did you know?
No, because I went in there because I bought this like bougie soap for myself, and I was like, I put it in the cardboard container in the shower for Jeff's shower, and then I ran out. I used up the last of my bar in the shower.
Hey, Aubrey. Pro tip: if you want to get Chris to do karaoke, you're gonna have to put some Rush on. Get some Geddy Lee.
There you go. I will hit some Rush notes. You know what I'm saying? You get a Mountain Dew in me after 9:30, I'll hit a Rush note.
It's crazy.
That's right.
The other thing that was funny, the first day I walk in, and I've been going to Brick Fair, Alabama for a couple of years, and a regular attendee is a guy named Keith Straw, and he's very tall, and he has a nice shiny dome like myself, so he's not hidden, walking around the convention. And so I think he's from Florida. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. Is that, but so I've seen him over the years, over many years. And the first day, 3 or 4 people are walking around with shirts that say Keith Straw Fan Club, and it's got like a cartoon rendering of Keith Straw. And I mean, it was recognizable. Whoever did the caricature did a good job. Like, I looked at that and instantly knew like who it was just based on the picture. And I asked around and I said, what does one have to do to join the Keith Straw Fan Club? And they were like, well, talk to Tim H, who was on Lego Masters. He's actually the guy who did the shirt. So I actually just texted him while we were on, and I was like, hey, what do I have to do to get a Keith Straw Fan Club shirt? Because that actually just like tickled my sense of humor. And it's kind of fun to have those kind of inside jokes or those like paraphernalia. New Hashima people have their bike jerseys and the Bearded Builders
esports
Club.
jerseys or gaming jerseys.
Sorry.
Gaming jerseys.
They look like people who ride bicycles, but to me, but okay, esports. And I have a
when those crazy kids, the crazy kids go on Twitch and make money gaming all day.
So I will, I'm endeavoring to join the Keith Straw Fan Club. So, I just think it's funny when people make their own shirts. And certainly here on this chat, we have people who design shirts, Peach Lug shirts and other types of stuff. So, there's lots of fun stuff to buy that vendors sell, but I think it's also really fun when there's like an inside joke kind of t-shirt like that.
Yep. And Keith is always on Julian's show on Wednesday night, which runs opposite of Jeff and Wyndon's show, but Keith's always on there where they do they build a set together and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty fun. Did you get that at
Choking hazard?
Oh, from the choking.
Yeah, from the force choke, but it's like a minifig head and it says choking hazard.
That's funny.
Because it's Vader.
An April that I'd never met
Isn't that
Andrew,
hilarious?
I got it. Andrew Latham came by, and he is the guy that's now running Space Classics or whatever. And it was good to meet him. He gave me a Blacktron shirt for their whatever Facebook group. They had a Blacktron shirt. It's a little small for me, but anyway. Hey, I want that shirt. There you go. There it is. It is. Hey, I got it. I got the joke. I mean, it's a funny shirt. I get it. So, but there were a ton from our lug that just came by. Nick Shook, saw him. He came by. Hadn't seen him in a while. And there were a lot of folks who have signed up to or asked for interest in Peach Lug after the show, and it was kind of just an idea that we put together, and I printed off some cards for everybody to put by their mocks, because while the Peach Lug display was smaller than SC Lug, we were in a lot of places. Our members had stuff built, big things and small things all over, so we made those.
Okay. Nobody put one of those cards next to the narwhal.
Well, I meant to give you one to take over there, but I forgot to give you one. We didn't go around putting them out. We just handed them out to whoever. So sorry.
My mosaic.
Oh, okay. Got you. Crap.
I had a Gayfuls thing next to mine, but I didn't have a Peach Lug one, so sorry.
But I think that with our name out on it throughout the show, got a lot of recognition. So, there's Andrew. Look there. Yeah, it was a kind of a last minute thing we threw together, but it actually worked really well, which is good for us because we were so diverse in so many areas. So that's good.
Can you hear Doug?
Is he snoring?
Is he talking?
Is he farting?
I think that's a movie where you can hear dogs talk, but no one else can.
If these dogs could talk.
He's dreaming.
I hear it.
He's snoring and having a great dream.
Does he have an action adventure dreams?
With snores.
My cat used to do this thing where she'd be like having a dream and she was like catching the red dot and her little paws would start to go like this. It was adorable. Little paw.
That's actually her thinking of murdering you and eating your intestines.
Yeah.
Probably.
Cat. Yep.
I saw someone the other day who had a wake cat that was doing the making biscuits motion, and they put a little fake laptop under it, so it was looked like it was typing. It was making biscuits. It was awesome.
Okay, so my new favorite, this off topic, my new favorite videos is where there's a Gordon Ramsay video where he's talking about how to make the dish, and then when it flips to his hands, somebody's doing this very terrible version of whatever he's saying, and so you got to be very careful with that egg yolk, and they just drop the whole egg in and all this kind of stuff, and goes to the point where he even eats it, and it's hilarious. It just cracks me up every time, and my feed is now full of those because I find them hilarious. So.
I can attest that Matt's feed is full of cat videos. Oh my gosh.
So we come back to the house, and it was not quite late enough to get in bed, but not really early enough to let's sit down and watch a 2-hour movie kind of evening. And so we were kind of just going through my YouTube channel, which of course suggests things that based on what I've watched in the past. And there were a fair number of funny cat videos that were coming up. And I started playing one, and Jeff's like, I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh at the cat video. And then at one point he covered his mouth. I'm like, we got you. So I mentioned this on Jeff's show yesterday, but I'll bring it up here. When you go to Lego conventions, at this point I'm a veteran, and if I see sets at store, I generally know what sets I'm probably going to regret if I don't buy. And so I'm not usually shopping for old sets that the vendors have, but I am interested in custom printing type of things. And every single convention that I go to, I spend money at Eclipse Graphics, to the point where he just like smiles and waves because he's like, yeah, that guy. he's gonna come by later and drop some money at our place. So once again, I succumbed to Eclipse Graphics, which had some really nice stained glass. So here's the first. These are obviously more medieval, castle-y themed, and then these are awesome. Everybody needs a stained glass window of the goat, the elusive goat, and then the dragon. That's a great dragon. Really like that. And then towards the other end, someone else had printed these, and so there's the heart made out of Lego pieces and the flower piece. So these were some pretty sweet parts. And then there was even a stained glass front door. So if you've got a house,
cool.
Oh, that's from Stranger Things. Darn it, I want it now.
Oh, is that? Okay. Well, I have two. If you want to buy one, I'll just sell you mine.
I'll buy them off you. Yeah, it's the Creel house.
Got it. And then the other thing that sucked money out of my wallet, I just could not resist, was there was an engraver there who had very shiny chrome bricks in various colors. And then you could look at they were chromed on the outside, but they would display them like upside down, because whatever's on the inside is what color is going to show through when they scrape off the chrome. So I got my name and my Instagram handle.
Oh, it's
they were actually there last. Sorry, go ahead.
Man, it's off center.
Hey, don't point that out, because I won't notice it until you say something about it. It's
perfectly centered.
My logo that I use on my BrickLink store. Someone one day popped up on the Facebook BrickLink sellers, and they were like, "Hey, I'm doing logos for free. I'm a graphic, artist in school, and I just want to get practice." So this person made me a logo, which I was perfectly happy with. And then Mark says, "You realize that the word isn't centered." Now every time I look at it, I see it. And then lastly, at Eclipse Graphics, if you want to have a gas station, you're going to need all those, the gas station in America, the ATM, the lotto tickets, the EBT cards. Now I absolutely need to build a gas station just so I can use these parts right here. The stained glass was I bought it at Eclipse Graphics, but they had some at the other end. It may have been K-Town. I'm not 100% sure.
I think you should do a gas station with stained glass windows.
So Eclipse did these a few years ago for he had them in different colors and everything. Oh, it makes Jesus like the shine. There we go. Look at there. But these are really cool.
It's clear that you've done a lot with them since you bought them.
I did. They're on display, right?
Right behind a hole.
Hey, they're in a frame. They're in a frame.
Frame.
They're in a frame, and light is going through them. What more do you want, Matt?
What they're for. But Amanda, it is Eclipse Graphics did those, and he is in our lug as well. I don't know if is he an active member? I can't remember.
I don't think he's a paid member recently, but maybe he is.
But he is.
He's certainly local.
K-Town had some great space graphics. They're up in the box upstairs. I haven't moved it downstairs. Some really cool little space tiles. Our friend Chris has got his printer back up and running, and he made some amazing tiles for the club. He also made some space. Yeah, that's right. Some really cool peach slug space figures for us, and so we'll be getting those. And Matt also did something amazing for Jeff here.
Yeah, he printed my my office logo versus the original, which I put kind of beside it. That was me printing it. He does an amazing job.
Yeah, he does.
Does not shy on the white ink, which is what he puts down below it. Like he puts a couple of layers so that everything pops through properly, and it's just awesome.
Yep, Chris Campbell. He's calling it Geeky Ink. I believe that is his business. He's not super public with it, but you can probably give him a shout.
He's got a webpage. You can submit a form of what you want.
Yeah, Geeky Ink, and he's good, super good. He actually had also space tiles and round space tiles. Yeah, you got them. There you are. I'm too lazy. My stuff's still upstairs.
Moon base tiles and
the moon base tiles, and then he made space tiles on round, which were awesome.
Yep, it's awesome.
Good dude.
Oh, and I also I don't want to forget to mention this. I got the most exclusive brick, and I know most of you are going to be really jealous to add to my brick badge, but the very sought after Canadian Brick Builders brick for Jeff and Wyndon's chat.
Yeah,
on
I had one of
Wednesday.
those too.
Well, yeah, you're the one who gave it to me, so I assumed you had one. So, to be jealous.
Have you ever been on our chat, Chris?
Yes.
In video chat?
He's been on the Facebook chat. He could be a special guest.
Well, yeah.
It's on Wednesday. I never have time on Wednesday.
Well, you pop into the chat, but if I only have a limited, like I only bought like 10 or 20 of those ones. So, but we'll talk.
Do you have an old gray brick with the eyes and the print on the side from the first run?
I think I do. I don't know. I'd have to pull it. I have to find my name tag because I forgot it here. So I also bought the Chrome name tags, which they were there last year as well.
Okay.
Doing the Chrome name tags, but they were kind of like crammed into a little corner. You didn't really see it or see them, but yeah, my name tag was very basic. It was this plus the 2 Chrome bricks, which are now somewhere upstairs in one of my castle boxes because it fell off as I was packing the castle, and I'm like, oh, it'll stay there.
I can't find my badge.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's better than me. I can't find my house key.
Natalie can find her badge, which looks like a 4-star army badge, and it's held together by Technic rails, but I can't find mine.
I assumed that when I was sitting on my mosaic assembling it on Thursday that my because I took my house key off of the keychain that goes to the car, and I thought, well, it's just behind the mosaic. When we go to lift it up, my house key is going to be there. But no, it was not. So,
oh no.
We're going to have to make another copy, but the good news is that there's always somebody here, either a cat, 2 cats, or a human. So I'm not terribly worried about somebody getting in the house. But
well, the cat could let you in, right?
They can't let me in. But thank goodness the garage door opener works. So when I leave the house, that's my only way to get back in the house.
What happens if the power is out?
I will have to call my husband to open the front door.
I was bugging Small Paul over the weekend while he was there, saying that he's getting bigger. Maybe we should call him Mid Paul now. And
Absolutely.
he did not like that. I don't know, something about being called Mid.
And his voice has gone from this to this.
Yeah. Well, I also, the mini is the mini, and then you have the next step, which is the Countryman. I suggested Countryman Paul. That did not fly either. So
Countryman?
The Mini Cooper, the Mini Cooper. Then there's a bigger one called the
Countryman.
But then I also said to Small Paul later on, it would be kind of funny if, as he got older, he bulked up a bit, kind of like us, and we still called him Small Paul, and he was a bigger.
Well, it's Swole Paul.
Swole Paul. That's right. That's where you
Swole Paul. There you go.
Paul. That's right.
Swole Paul. Well, given the height of his dad, we could definitely watch him potentially go from Small Paul to Mid Paul to Tall Paul by the end. So
yeah. Poor Jake. He saw a friend of his was our neighbor who is 3 years younger than Jake, and that kid's taller than Jake now, and it kind of flew all over him. I'm like, dude, I'm the tallest in my family. This is all you get. So you got to get north of me. And this is where you're going. That's it. That's all you got, man. So. Yeah, I bet he's taller than you, Will. Will, you need to come to Atlanta BrickCon next year. The dates are already set. You're the 8th and the 9th, 2025. So make it so.
2025 is next year.
I will throw out that when I was chatting with some people at ABC, they said something about, well, you're going to come to Brick Fair. I do want to take the mosaic to Brick Fair before it gets hung up on the wall. That's one of my desired show places. And I said, well, it's always like the weekend right before school starts. And they said, well, this year it's like the 3rd and the 4th. And I was like, school doesn't start till the 12th. So there's like a 50-50 chance I might try to work in Brick Fair, Virginia this year. I can get up there and get back before class starts back up. 5'2", that's, yeah.
It's taller than my wife.
Natalie's a hair under 5.
Yeah, she was sitting there on her electronic device, like being like, I'm a teenager. I'm just going to be on my
teenager. Mm-hmm. She wasn't even watching anything. She was just listening to music and buying stuff.
My son turned 19 Sunday of the con.
Aw.
So
And I'm
Happy birthday,
officially
Fazim Jr.
I'm officially 30 years older than him yesterday. So
Yeah, Jeff had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
thank you.
His present for his birthday is he got to host a chat with two people who kept talking.
No, that was okay. I didn't mind doing the chat on my birthday. It was fun.
the best part about your chat last night, you were sitting there and it was just BS on both sides, and I thought it was the funniest thing. I love
Yeah, the Canadian brick builders, B&S builders. You know, the
BS.
middle picture kind of fills it in.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's the bad spot.
so we're at an hour. I still am dragging from convention. Meredith, I know you got to be dragging from convention. It just as I'm getting older, it's just like, dude, I fell asleep at the convention. So it's just a thing. But anyway, but it's always fun. I'm super excited. It's thrilling for us to finally have a con in Atlanta. It has seemed ridiculous for so long, and there'd been a lot of sputtered starts to get it going. So this is got momentum. We've got a lot of great builders coming. I think there's a good balance of the influencers coming to get some attention for it. The big builders, the everyday builders, the lugs that are local in the South. What did he say? Like 6 lugs were there, or 7, something like that? Because you had Empire and us, and there were a lot
Rebel
of lugs
Lug.
and a lot of collabs and everything.
So I think I finally figured it out. When I went to Brick Fair, Virginia the first time, I had a great time and I met all kinds of people. And then when I went the second time, I felt like I didn't get the con experience that I had the year before. And I thought initially it was because there were just so many more people exhibiting. But then I finally put my finger on it. The first time I go, I don't know as many people. And so I'm able to have like a little bit longer conversations with people as I go. And I think the challenge now that I've met more people in the Lego community is that when we have a thing like ATLBrickCon, like I'll see Martin and say hi, or I'll see, Simon Liu and these people who are out of towners. And I think, oh, it'd be really great to just like get a chance to talk with this person for like 15 minutes. But now I have like 30 of these people. And so I always feel like I had a great time at the convention, but I look back and I'm like, oh, I never really got to talk to so-and-so, and I never really got to talk to this person. And I felt a little tinge of regret there. Like, oh, I like this person. And, like we just kind of waved, or we just kind of said hi in passing. But I guess that's in some degree a function of, I just have more people I want to, there you go. There's just more people I want to catch up with. So I think we need to, expand all conventions by an extra day where no one's allowed to build anything. We just hang out for a day. Well, like spa day on Monday. Like everybody goes to the spa and we like put cucumbers in our eyes and just talk about it.
Well, that's one of the things
actually,
with Brick. There's no spare day like a holiday right after, like Brick Fair Virginia used to have. So, yeah.
So I'm going to pitch that Spa Monday for all Lego conventions.
I'm actually going to head out. I'm getting a little tired. See y'all later.
See ya. I was just going to say that that's where Chicago had the benefit, because the hall stays open all night, but a lot of people just go up to that lobby area and just hang out there. I mean, I know the Saturday night, no, I guess it was a Sunday night of that week. I hung out there for a few hours and talked to people I hadn't really talked to. I sat with Moto for like an hour and a bit and just chatted with him, which like it doesn't happen. But with this convention, they do kick us out at like 11 or whatever the time was, and then everybody just kind of disperses and that's it, right? Like I think the draw with Chicago is almost everybody stays at the hotel or in the area and doesn't drive home, at least people that we know, right? Because most of us are out of town. So whereas this convention, everybody goes back to their houses, right? Yeah. Or, some people go to the hotels, but there's like no one was staying at the Hilton as far as I know that was there. I don't know if it was open yet.
And I would say that one of the things that I really enjoyed about Brick Slopes is that almost all the convention participants stayed at the same hotel. So Friday night we took over. So it's Utah. So the bar is open between 7 and 9 p.m. and it closes precisely at 9. So we just took over the bar and it just sat at the tables, and Maticus was there, and some of a couple Lego Master folks were there, and Moto was there. And I eventually went to bed, but I think they were in there until 2 a.m. just chatting, laughing, and sharing stories, and that's fun. I mean, that's a good part of the Lego con experience, is just hanging out with people. And so I think maybe next year we should even, I don't know, try to plan something where go to. It's hard to get people to go out to a restaurant at the same time.
I'd do it.
Hey, do you remember the Taco Mac that we went to, which maybe where we're having our next lug meeting? The Taco Mac with the big room. How far away is that from con? I can't think off the top of my head.
Well, I thought we went. I don't remember the big room, but there's a Taco Mac that's over in Lawrenceville.
Yeah, because that's where we had a meeting, a lug meeting there. Maybe you weren't there for that one, but it has a big room in the back. It'd be nice just to find a restaurant like that and say, "Hey, come hang out."
Yeah.
But the comments over there, if that attached hotel, the Westin, if it opens up,
okay,
and can get a con rate or whatever, that would be great. And maybe that would spur them on to have more open space. I think Gas South also is pretty restrictive on adult beverages and partying and things like that too. So that doesn't help. But I will say, it being a newer facility, it is just so much nicer in there. It was, the air conditioner kept up this time and everything. It is a really nice facility in
high class bathrooms.
Except for those confusing things in the bathroom door that I still don't know what they're for. Every bathroom stall had like 2 round circles with kind of a bar coming out, and it literally looked like it had like a 1/4-inch screw hole for like a camera to go into or something.
So you put your
hooks.
Live stream from the bathroom stall.
Yeah, I was like, what? I don't get it.
Get ready with me. Get ready with me as I take a dump.
But there were also hooks on all the doors as well, so it's not like they were supposed to be coat hooks or anything.
I think they were coat hooks, but you could unscrew the little catch part, and somebody had unscrewed most of them, because I saw one and it had it on there. Oh wait, a late addition, really quick. Olin Surly, what's up, man?
Can you hear me?
He's in an airport. Am I right? He looks like he's in an airport. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, bud.
So sorry, I can't hear anybody, so I'm going to try to call back in just a second.
All right. We may be logged out by then, but join us in the after show. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm expecting a call in 3 minutes, so I might be gone.
Yeah, we need to go ahead and close this down. Hey, but that is one thing about this venue, is the bathrooms, which we all we're joking about, because we've been to True Fair, Virginia, and honestly, you walk in, it's an old Home Depot they've converted. You walk in that bathroom.
Still can't hear anybody.
It looks like they filmed the Terminator in there. There's like a light hanging down and blinking, a fluorescent light. It's just not good. These are like Shangri-La, like you're in a fancy hotel, and it's
gosh darn it.
We should have our meeting in the bathrooms then.
Well, you can go. There's like multiple stalls. You can pick one for the week and everything.
Wow.
I was kidding with either Sandlin or Chris, and I was like, Chris went in the bathroom, was looking for that guy with the damp towels that you have to tip, in the really fancy bathrooms.
Somebody's going to give me a mint and a towel. Yeah, I got to pay that guy $5. All right, no, but we love the con. Hope you guys will come. We got to go. Be awesome, everybody. Be awesome. Build awesome. Be kind to your neighbor. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Good night, everybody.